you are hearing this message as the version of yourself today. And that version of you is lovable.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to your podcast for Joyful Serenity. My name is Pia, and I am grateful to be a part of your journey in becoming. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to another very inspiring episode of your favorite podcast for Joyful Serenity. And I'm super excited to have a very special guest with me today. He's coming all the way from the US, and we're having a nice conversation today about some very inspirational topics, which you've already heard me say in the beginning. And we're going to dive deeper into those. And before he will start talking, I would like to introduce him. His name is Mike, and he has 3 adorable children, 2 dogs, and an incredible wife. He has a life filled with music, improvisation, this I love, and love. He has worked as a music therapist in various capacities for 11 years, began teaching Pound in 2018, and is currently also in the process of becoming a master trainer himself, which is super exciting. I know the journey. So everyone, please enjoy this episode with this wonderful human being. And Mike, a very warm welcome and aloha to you.
Aloha. Thank you so much for having me, Pia. I really appreciate it. Hello, everyone listening. We're recording this, so you can listen back whenever you want.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of inspiration. Where are you tuning in from today, Mike?
I am in beautiful Eagan, Minnesota. We moved here in October of 2021, and we rang in the new year here in our new home, and we love it here. We're very content. There's lots of trees and outdoor space for us to enjoy, and we're really close to Oscar's new school. And
Oscar is your son, right?
Oscar is 7.
Yeah.
Oscar's our oldest. Oscar identifies as a she, identifies as a girl, presents as a boy. But yeah, she's 7, and we're just kind of helping and supporting her through that journey and getting her accustomed to her new school. And we can walk there, actually, which is just
that's great.
So different. Yeah, it really enhanced our quality of life. Not having to drive to school every day. So, and there's sometimes deer on the walk home, and it's just really beautiful.
It sounds magical.
It is. It's been really great. It took us kind of a while to get to our new house, but we had a lot of support. Kim Cooper, actually, who is another icon in the Pound community, was our realtor. She had recently got her real estate license, and I knew that just because we're friends, and
things come together in the most magical way. That's what it is.
We got in her house. She helped us.
Yeah,
we had to look at a lot. The market, I know, is always kind of probably strange, but she helped us, and we couldn't be happier.
And that's so amazing, just what you said, community and everybody that's in there. So for everybody who's listening, who has not had the pleasure of joining a Pound class, I'm pretty sure that most of our listeners are familiar with it, probably. But if not, it's such a great workout experience, and the community of people that is over the globe internationally with over 30,000 instructors in over 100 countries, and everybody's so supportive all around the world. And it's just amazing to be a part of this band. And talking about band, I just said that you have been into music and music therapy for such a long time. So maybe we can start with this. I would love to hear like your story, like what is music to you? How did you get into that? Because this is not the typical work probably that I think people would go for. So what was your inspiration there?
Yeah. So I guess when I started music, I just had this idea that it was for me, you know, it was a passion. It is a passion. Mm-hmm. So, you know, maybe even an obsession, if you will,
for sure.
You know, of playing and performing and essentially like executing. You know, I was a drummer, so I was executing all these rhythms. I am a drummer, you know, and playing all these rhythms. You know, from a very young age, was kind of on this like instructional path, you know, to like to learn and to be precise and to do all these rudiments and things that you learn. We do a few of them in Pound. One of them's that paradiddle move that actually it was in that newer track that you did recently, Blow.
Yeah.
You go side to side and then you hold for two and then side to side and then hold for two. In drumming, that's a rudiment called a paradiddle. It's right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So anyway, it's not an accident that we're using that in Pound. You know, it's definitely part of like sort of this rich tradition of rhythms that have been passed down. And anyway, so that was kind of like my obsession. That's what I was doing for, gosh, so many years. And then I started playing in bands and, you know, then, you know, and one gig after another, you know, it's always like you're kind of just, you're doing gigs, but then you're always like, what's the next gig? You know, you're on to the next gig. And my next gig landed me kind of outside of music. I was, you know, I just working just a odd job. I worked a lot of odd jobs. If you've ever seen,
for example, let us hear it.
if you've ever seen Reality Bites, okay, with Ethan Hawke, you know, and
I don't know that, but probably the U.S. listeners will.
Sure, U.S. listeners. So Ethan Hawke, Winona Ryder, and he's kind of taking her on this like tour of like all of the jobs he's had, you know, and he had like so many different jobs. And for instance, this job that I had was I was working nights as a custodian, okay, in a paper in a newspaper factory, if you will. So and one of the stories, so there was this machine and it had malfunctioned, and my job was to pick up all of the newspapers that had fallen out of it and put them in this bin. And I would often read the newspaper while I was doing this. And the story on the front was on music therapy. It was on a music therapist. I was like, music therapy, interesting. What is that? And I read the story, and then I was kind of like, I could do that. You know, that is how I feel about the connection. And then I started making connections. Like, okay, so music is connected to people and helping people. I was like, I think I could do that. I love people. I love music. It's a career. I could go to college. It was really important, at least to my parents, that I go to college and, you know, go there and learn and get a degree so that I could get a better job in music. And I was like, well, it has to be in music. So, I found myself in school and in a music therapy program. And then I, graduated from that program. I met a lot of people. I realized once again that connections were really important and networking was really important and getting to know people, and not just for my own gain, but just to like support the community. You know, then I started like giving back to the community and and being of service. I started volunteering for different positions.
Great.
And being on different, planning committees, all kinds of, committees. And, I would just say yes and just do things to help out. And then eventually I found myself supervising students and supervising, in music therapy, we have an internship program, which I feel like needs a huge overhaul, but just because we're
getting there.
It's unpaid, but it's unpaid. But basically, I'm supervising all these amazing people and learning that I kind of have this, this knack for interacting with people and helping them, find themselves, helping them, empowering them, helping them like achieve their goals and be motivational to them. But also have, tough conversations like, hey, you need to step up, or, hey, or whatever. And then eventually, I was a director of a program for a time, like, not just super, but I was like directing a program.
Yeah.
And then, and then the kids came, my children,
and when what I love when you said, like, first of all, the paper story, like, in the most random places. And I think this is great also for listeners, you might not even be searching for something, but the things will search you. The things that will fuel your soul and your purpose, they will find you. You just have to open your eyes, maybe like on the machine when this newspaper fell down and it's just the front page and you're like, oh, that's calling me. So just be very aware of these things. And also what I love is that you talk about how you probably have not thought about becoming a director or managing or supervising all of those people. But it just happened naturally. Why? Because you put all your love and energy and passion into what you're doing. So you're fulfilling your purpose. And naturally, these other things just happen. They just come to you. It's like magnetism, right? One of the 3 things we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Exactly. Like even with the paper story, like I still think back to the, there was this registration fee that I needed to give to the university, and I'd written it down on a check, on a check, and I dropped it out in the parking lot at my work, and the workers just randomly, someone found it and was like, came back inside and was like, "Are you Mike?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me." And he's like, "You got to be more careful with your checks." So like I was this close to like not getting my, to like getting into the university, and this kind person just found this check.
Wow.
And helped,
this was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, so that check was like really important in kind of the, the bureaucracy of getting in, and I, so I wasn't gonna. It wasn't going to be derailed by me. Like the universe was helping and was like, no, this is the direction that you're headed. So.
Yes. Love this. Amen. 100%. So, we had like a little starting conversation about the 3 things that are your mission. I always love to hear from my guests. What drives them? What is their mission here? And you gave me 3 words, which are collaboration, magnetism, and vibing. Which one would you love to talk about first? I'm super excited about all of them.
Well, I think just I'll just go in order.
All right, let's do collaboration. What does it mean to you?
Collaboration means, I mean, what we're doing today, on this day, like, you and I mean, I've never met you in person.
Yes, it's true.
I'm definitely a huge fan of yours. Just of your vibe,
Thank you.
And I just, I'm just super grateful to be here. So like collaborating just with whoever will accept my, request, like I did a lot, through the pandemic. it was, which we're still, we're still in, but like I was home a lot and I had a lot of opportunity to just like do classes virtually, pound classes, but also just to be like, what would be cool? I just found out about all these people because I joined the tour crew ambassadors, with Pound,
yes,
the brand ambassadors. And I was like, wow, I found out about all these amazing people from all over the world. I wonder if they'd want to do a class with me. Like I just started getting all these ideas, and
then you just went for it. Then you just asked.
Yep, I just asked. I was like, I wonder if they would, I'm going to stop wondering. I'm just going to send them a message. And people would respond. I was just absolutely floored by.
I love this so much. And I love this message, like just getting out there. And when you feel something, say something,
Yep.
Ask and you shall receive. It's one of my favorite sayings, it's just, if you're not asking, there's 100% chance nothing is going to happen. But if you're asking, there's at least 50% of a chance that there is something happening. And this is 100% more than you would have had without asking. So just go for it. And I love this. And please, everyone who's listening, just dare to put yourself out there and ask questions. Never stop wondering, like, what could be. Keep wondering, but just start doing, just get into the power of asking the question. Yeah, 100%. I love it.
Yes. I mean, 1000%. Like, absolutely. Just, if you have the thought, like you might as well act on it.
Because, it's the same with us today, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, I don't know. Like, I just was thinking for the longest time, like, I hear like all these cool podcasts and who do I know that I don't know anyone that's doing wait, Pia. I know. Well, I mean, I kind of know her. Like I could send her a message maybe, and she would maybe respond or I don't know. So, And then I was like, hey, so the podcast, you do one. She's like, yeah. I mean, you were like, yeah, I do. Yeah. And, oh, you have an interest in them? Well, just come on my podcast. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Like, how did that
happen? It happened.
It was not linear. It was just like, it wasn't like a flow. It was just like, boom, it just happened. I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, just for me personally, I can just say, I'm not coming out of I'm not a massive thinker. I do appreciate my mind and my brain, and it has its time, but sure. Most of the time I'm in my heart space, and this is just pure feeling. So I'm just an absolute empath and feeling people and their energies, and I'm just going with intuition like all the time. Like with you, for example, having never really met before. This is even our first conversation.
Yeah,
it's the first conversation, and I love this. This is how I roll. It's just like I'm going into the feeling, and if it feels right, it's going to be great. So thank you for being the same and just trusting. Yeah. Oh, the energy. I love it.
Absolutely. This is very like, I don't know if the right word is like healing or insightful, or for me just to realize that like, yeah, I'm a lot in my heart as well. And I do appreciate my brain. But I found myself lately talking with people and being like, yeah, I do love my brain. I mean, I don't say I love my brain, but I say it something like, what do I say? I say something like, me and book learning, we weren't like, I'm not going to quote like, some theory or like, not that I don't appreciate theories and people's, written word and what they've done research on. But I'm in the moment, I'm feeling things. I'm going on my intuition a lot of the time. And that's just something that I just do and have done.
Yes. And learning from books is always something somebody else has written and what the experience that other people made. So sure. This is amazing because we learn from other people's experience. But for me, I'm also somebody who's always searching to do their own experience. Just because somebody else said it is this way, it doesn't have to be that way for me. So I'm always looking for like, let me try. let me try this. I've heard about this, but I don't know. So let me just try, right? Just being curious. And I think this is something that I felt the first time I connected with you, just even via social media. It's just like, I always, when I see videos from you or posts, it's such a, like, really, in the meaning of its word, wonderful. It's always like wondering. It's curious. It's like, it's such a positive and open spirit energy that whatever I get from you, and this is something the world needs more. So I'm so happy that you're here to share this with the community today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. So yeah, collaboration, just reach out, just ask people if they want to work together. You know, sometimes it's like, it's not always clear what you're going to do together. Sometimes it is. And that's really, really great. But other times, you know, we have to kind of discover like what things we can do together or what collaborations we can work on. But I'm still like asking and working with people, like now that things are opening up a bit more here in Minnesota. I'm just trying to work with everyone around here and just make Pound just super popular. I mean, it already is popular around here, but just to make it like, even more like it, you know, like, cause I'm finding that there's like different gyms and different places that like there's a need, and it's just really exciting.
Yeah. It's great
to figure out like who needs what.
Yes.
And then just try to like help them succeed.
Right.
Yeah, and
serve. It's just what you said. It's serving. It's the same for me and what I've experienced. And I love that you said, like, sometimes it's not clear, like what you will collaborate on together. But I love also to meet inspiring people and just say, hey, I don't know how, but I think we should do something together. And then the craziest things just come up. So for everybody listening, just be open for that. And if you see somebody who's inspiring you and whose work you love or whatever it is, just tell them that you love it and that you don't know how, but you would love to do something together with them, and then just let the magic unfold. The magic and also the magnetism, right? So what is it with the magnetism? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, a few of these words, you know, were, they came out of like a brainstorming session that I did with a friend of mine. And just, you know, we kind of create like in this session, we kind of realized that like, we need to do like, this needs to be a thing, meaning like coming up with words that you think of when you think of another person, you know, and then just kind of like, I can't remember what the verbiage that we called it, but basically it was just like a word lift or something like that, or you know, like where we were sending out essentially like these sort of positive word lists that describe a person, you know, just like, you know, and so some of the words when we got, you know, when I submitted the words to you, were a little, you know, like vibing was vibiest, you know, but vibiest isn't a word, you know?
Yeah, but that's great. I love these creations. It's totally my thing.
Like, so magnetism, I think just like, I guess I've never really thought of myself as being magnetic, but then upon further reflection, as always, you know, and then also trying to like see myself in a bit, you know, everyone has, well, I don't know. Most people have a hard time looking themselves in the mirror and being like, I love you, you know, without it being like I kind of just sounded like, I love you. You know, I'm not like trying to be, you know, like fake with myself, but it's hard to like love yourself truly, you know, to like sit with yourself with all of your kind of, you know,
with everything that you are, from insecurities to love to,
there you go. So it's difficult, but, if you can kind of see yourself through someone else's eyes for a little while, someone else's perception of you, and then you kind of sit with it, like, then you're like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that, I could see that I'm magnetic, or that I'm a collaborator, or that, I'm vibing or vibiest or whatever. So then I was like, okay, so magnetic, like, yeah, like because I'm a positive person, because, I've, chosen, I made the choice to like be the way that I am, be who I am, continue to like grow on this, I'm going to say the word journey, because everyone's, like trying to fulfill their purpose, and at least I'm trying to, like be better and try to like continue to learn and all that. Like that way of living has some magnetism in it.
Absolutely.
Like,
thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing. And like really this being magnetic, and just being able to talk about this. I love it, especially, because you made this connection to the hard times a lot of people have with just practicing self-love and just being honest to themselves, and being able to put all the things aside and see themselves through other people's eyes. So I think this is something beautiful that the listeners can please take away with them. Just maybe making this positive word list, asking your friends, just ask your friends, give me 3 names. Not 3 names. Give me 3 words. Give me 3 words that you connect with me. What are 3 things that you would connect with me? And just be open for whatever comes, because this is the perception of other people of you, and this is their truth of you. So there might as well be something true for you in it. And I always think, how crazy is it? Like, every person that you ever met has a picture of you in their minds, in their hearts. You made an imprint. So 100 people have 100 pictures of Mike. Yeah. And somewhere in between that and in ourselves, there is this magic, this part, and we get to choose. That's the best thing I think about us being human, is that we can choose how we want to identify and what things we want to take and bring to the table, to the world.
Yeah. Bring to the surface, like show people, like, yeah, like this is me, like, even if, like you said, like, you're becoming, or like you're just like bringing who you are, but maybe you're like, not entirely confident in the, in like those 3 words that someone would ascribe to you, or those pictures, like, but ultimately, like, that's you, that's the you that people want to be around. That's the you that people love. And that, you can be magnetic in your own way, like with people want to be connected to you. And, there's just something beautiful about that. There's something, it gives a sense of peace, that you can that you can kind of rest in that, for a time.
Yes.
Those people that you like to sit with, that like, you're like, we could just sit together all day, like those are,
keepers.
Those are the people. Yeah. Those are keepers for sure.
Yes. I love it. And, when you talk about being magnetic, which you definitely are, and I love that, and also that you took the time to reflect and that you talked about it with friends, I think this is something a lot of people miss, the opportunity to just sit after they shared with somebody and just reflect on themselves and just see what resonates with them. This is all energy, right? I love to talk about energy because we are all energy.
Yeah.
We talk, we are. Everything is just energy. And
yes.
when we talk about energy, there's no way we're getting around vibing, which you just said, and you're the vibiest. So maybe give me the story. Like, what is it about vibing or vibiest? How did that come up, and what is it for you?
What is it for me? Well, I think it's just like when you make those. I don't know, I'm going to kind of like back up a little bit. So when you're able to collaborate with people and you feel kind of that pull towards each other, like this is going to be great. Like the things we're going to create together, the feelings that we're going to create together, they just have that vibe. And vibe is to me is kind of that, it's that like special seasoning or that like kind of secret sauce, or like that maybe surprise middle or something of, whatever tasty treat that you like to enjoy, whatever it is, or that like I said, the flavor profile, that is your favorite, I know I like to tie it together with food, because food is just kind of one of those all-encompassing senses. It's an amazing sensory experience. So like vibe is kind of that thing when, even if you're virtual, like when you see someone, you're just like, yeah, I just like your vibe, like there's kind of a, like you said, energy. It's an energy thing. It's not, I feel like it's something that has been studied. Like I remember when I I've never met him in person, but when I got to share a screen with Daniel Shattuck, and he was talking about another Pound icon who, I absolutely adore, never met in person, but just the energy. And he was talking about like, your olfactory senses, like smell and stuff. And that there's been like, it's probably pheromones. I mean, that's probably, but how can you like smell through the computer? I have no idea. You can't, or like
there's so many things, right, that are not yet.
Yeah. Or through the phone, like, but you can tell when you have those. It's just a sense, it's another sense that you get. I don't know if it's here. I keep pointing to here, but like to my heart, but like, cause I can see Pia right now when I'm talking, but like, it's that feeling that you get when you think about someone, and there's probably research about that too, where, what is the difference between you thinking about the person and actually like seeing the person, like your picture of them in the brain is pretty similar, I think, what they've determined. But anyway, like it's just kind of that feeling. It's a feeling for sure of like creating experiences, which are in my mind, like some of the best gifts that you can give someone. For instance,
absolutely.
They surprised me for my birthday party.
Yes, I saw it. I loved that.
It was my wife's idea. And then she told Kim Cooper, and then they just kind of, together with this whole posse here in Minnesota, they just kind of ran with it. And it takes a lot to surprise, when you get older. It wasn't a milestone birthday or anything. It was just a birthday, but they got me. Like I was completely speechless and shocked, but the vibe of this party and the vibe of everyone there was absolutely just the vibiest. And
the vibiest.
And yes. I was just so like grateful and just in awe and just loving everyone as much as I could. And I needed like a minute to like process. I needed to take a beat and just process everything, because it was like an overload for sure of just love and support and just seeing all these amazing people that I've interacted with over the years through Pound, all together in one room.
Showing up for you because showed up for them.
And
that's what it is.
And anyway, so that was just kind of the vibe that I was feeling that night, which was, it was love, it was appreciation, it was gratitude, all those things kind of create, and that's what I want to do for other people, is ultimately create that experience, create that vibe. And because it's just it definitely sends people into new heights for sure. Like
absolutely agree.
Of self-love, of self-appreciation, and then they're able. It's kind of the whole minds before bodies thing in Pound. Everything else comes after you get someone's mind kind of into a different space than they thought they could be.
Yes. And there's a saying in Germany that is, I try to translate it. When you get people's hearts, you don't have to worry about their minds.
Oh, wow. What is it in German?
In German, it is, wenn du das Herz der Leute hast, brauchst du dich den Kopf nicht zu sorgen.
Ah, toll.
Toll, yeah. Yeah, so this is everything you said is just vibing with me in a massive way, and I can't stop smiling, as you can see. I'm so grateful of us coming together here in this space and having the same vision of creating experiences for people to help them get into new heights of self-worth and self-love and collaboration, and learning that they are magnetic and that they can allow themselves to open up for all the versions of themselves that are out there, and just go for it and just try to believe in them maybe a little bit more every day, and just play around and just try, different things lead to different realities and to different lives. We have so many opportunities to choose from. Who do I want to be today? How do I want to be today? And just knowing that with our own energy, we can make a difference in our life and also in the lives of everybody around us is such a huge thing. And I love how you do that in your community, and how Pound connected us so we can have a talk together today. Thank you, Kirsten. Shout out.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. And in the end, because I know I could talk to you like for the next 2 or 3 hours, but we need to find an end for this beautiful conversation.
Yes.
I would love to ask you some questions.
Okay. Let's do it.
And you just give me what comes straight out of your heart.
Okay? I will.
All right. So, number 1, if you had the opportunity for one day, 24 hours around the world to have like a massive screen shared, a massive placard, so like a very huge promotion thing. You have them in the US. How are they called? Like these billboards. So you have a massive billboard.
There you go.
And you could send out a message to everyone around the world for 24 hours. And everyone would read it. What would it say?
Make music, be free.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
It's one of my favorite Pound t-shirts, ultimately. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's that. Wonderful. I love it. Wrote it down. We'll put it in the show notes. So make music, be free. That's what it is. Okay. So next thing, if you could take one thing with you to a lonely island, what would it be?
My drumsticks and my drum pad.
All right.
My wife would tell you. She like when she knew me before we like really got to know each other. She just remembers me with my drumsticks, which I have right here, and my drum pad. And I would just be happy, just practicing on my practice pad forever. I mean, a close second would be like a guitar, but
yeah. All right. I'll take it. Sure. So music is coming with you. Of course. Make music be free. Yes. So, and one last thing, I cannot give you a billboard for 24 hours for the whole world, but the whole world has the opportunity, like most of the world has the opportunity to listen to this episode over and over again. And if there's any message that you would like to share with the listeners out there, this is yours.
Oh, hello. You are hearing this message as the version of yourself today. And that version of you is lovable.
Ooh, I get goosebumps. Thank you so much. I love this. Oh, you know what? This will be my hook. This is the part I will take to put in the beginning of the episode, I think.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
That's amazing. No, thank you. So, Mike, it was lovely having you here. And you also shared with me some links, which I will put into the show notes. So amazing. Everybody who wants to get to know Mike more, please follow him. He is posting hilarious and also inspiring and lovely content on socials. Gentle Panda on Instagram. So I will put it in the show notes. Everybody can find him there. If you want to join a class, are you still teaching virtually too?
I'm teaching one class virtually on Saturday, at least in Germany. It's like midday.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yep. But then the other class would be like in the middle of the night. So.
Yeah. But that's great. So I know you sent me the link too for your profile on the Pound page. So everybody can check in there, connect with Mike, ask him questions, let him know how you like this episode, share it with friends, spread the word, spread the love for music and for movement. And I can only say thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Pia.
Thank you so much. We will talk soon again. Everybody, please stay happy and healthy. And I love to hear your feedback. If you haven't yet, please subscribe this podcast. Also rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Refer it to a friend. And I hope to have you here on the show soon again. Aloha.